I think it's time to christen those 199 axles, give them a little bit of road rash. Buttery smooth. Catch that wheel in the rear, hopefully. Yeah, look at that. Sick. One of the most impressive RC rigs to ever touch rock was launched last year at Proline by the Fire. It was the Reefs RC XP10 Founders Edition. This competition crawler was designed by pros, it looked pro, and it handled the rocks incredibly. The only thing is, it was a limited edition run and it was rather pricey, leaving a lot of us really wanting the kit, but it was just out of reach until now. Reefs RC just announced the XP10 Black Edition, and I was able to get my hands on one. Here it is, cardboard box, no fancy briefcase or etched plaques with this one. This is gonna be available for the long run, and I like the simple box art. Sometimes simple is better. Over here on the side, it tells you what you're gonna need to complete the kit. There's a look at the rig, and here is a rundown of all the features inside. We gotta get this thing out of the box, guys. I'm excited to see it. This is it. This is all you get inside the box. Pretty simple. You get the assembled slider, you get the plague body, and they do give you the rear body panels. They give you window mask, a decal sheet, and a setup sheet. Nothing else, no instruction manual. Reefs RC believes that if you're picking up one of these kits, you probably know what you're doing already and you could finish it off on your own. You are going to need to supply all the electronics, some paint for the body, wheels and tires, and of course, a cool spot to run. And now we can get into the chassis, guys. Look at all that carbon fiber, all that aluminum, hardened steel, even hardened 48 pitch gears inside the transmission case. Getting too far ahead. So this was designed by Wyatt Melon, world champion driver, now a designer for Reefs RC. And with the original Founders kit, they wanted to develop a rig where you just took it out of the box, installed your selected electronics, and drove it. You didn't need anything else. And although this is a bit toned down from that, it still follows along that same premise. You could just take this out of the box and it's going to handle really well. And if you did want to go and upgrade it later on down the road with some of their brass options and some of the other accessories that they have out there, you'll be able to do it, but this is going to be a pretty competitive rig. So again, carbon fiber chassis, guys. You've got a 64 millimeter width on the inside. They've kept it narrow, total of 70 millimeters on the outside. And of course, you've got your shock mounting locations. You've got cross bracing to keep everything solid. Simple body mount in the front to go along with the plague body. They do give you the sliders on this one, so you could go and throw your electronics on the sides if you need to, or your battery pack, depending on how you want to go and set up your weight distribution. They also have a number of plates inside, so maybe you go throw your battery here, you throw your winch servo over here. There's a couple winch mounting points. They've got a fair lead exit in the back, and they also have one in the front with the machined aluminum plate there. The fair lead plate, that's pretty awesome. You're not going to see any gold anodized parts on this one. That was for the Founders kit. Everything's black on this kit, but everything is really well thought out here. Again, positioning electronics, adjusting your suspension, all the things that you would want out of a competition chassis, it's all here, including the wedge style skid. You got plenty of breakover angle clearance here, and I think we need to move right into the suspension. So 90 millimeter shocks, you got plenty of clearance here with the style of shocks set up with the springs down below. These are going to need oil. So I was told 50 weight oil to start, see how you like it. Does have the X rings on the inside, captured perches on the bottom, and then the springs are even different front to rear. You can see this has a red indicator on it. Rear springs have yellow, but proper angles right out of the box. This is just set up to go, guys. Then we get into the linkages. So 4-link in the front, 4-link in the rear, so you don't have that panhard bar that gets you the wonky bump steer. These are 6 millimeter rods with their HD rod ends. Kind of a side story here. Back at Proline by the Fire, I had a young driver come up to me and said, I need the best ball ends. Where should I go? And I just pointed to the Reefs tent to go get these. These are nice and solid. Used them before. And as you can see, you've got the bent links in the rear. So you got the high clearance. You got the high rise pivot in the rear to help keep the truck planted as you're crawling up the rocks. And there is some adjustability. You'll notice the extra holes on that rear setup. You'll notice some extra holes on the chassis and on the front bracket as well. Single bracket there for the servo mount because you got everything nice and low in this. And we got a talk drivetrain. So this is their XP3 transmission. We've seen this kicking around before. Inside you got hardened machine gears, 48 pitch ball bearings inside, of course, and then check out the drive shafts. These are just really well done. I like that how the size is etched. We've just got a short female side with the Reefs logo, and then even the tapered end here. So if it does happen to catch a rock, it's just gonna slide over that. And just look at the size of the yoke, massive. And that goes to their 199 axles. That means it's 199 millimeters to the outside hexes here. And these axles are pretty awesome. I'm gonna start with this rear axle, one piece machined all the way through here. And then you got machined aluminum end caps, and the diff cover here is composite, and look how nice and shaped that is. That's just, you know, minimal surface area to catch on rock, high pinion angle on it. Again, 48 pitch gears on the inside, machine spool, and the hard seal axle setup has a screw pin in there to just reduce the amount of play in the axles. You've got a lot of stuff going on in axles all the way down to the portal gears here. Some slop in it. You don't want that extra slop. They've gone ahead, designed all that out. There is just a minimal amount of play, and that's going to happen when you have, you know, like a portal gear setup. But really nice housing, Reefs logo on it, and then check out the front axle. This is the business end, guys. This is what really drew me into this kit. Again, you got the nice axle shape in the front, a little bit of trussing here as well, and then outside with the caster blocks, these are adjustable. You could do 0, 10, and 20 degree by simply just moving a screw around, canting the caster block. Nicely machined too. I know it's not the brass, but this is really well done. And then look at the steering knuckle as well. I mean, just the machine work on that, I'm happy with that. I could just deal without the brass for now. I might add it later because I might want the weight, but the portal covers interchangeable from front to rear, and that'll allow you to go throw those brass covers on if you want in the front or rear. But look at this universal. Check out the size of that yoke as well. Absolutely huge. And this steering setup allows you to have 60 degrees of steering. That's what really just blew me away when I was driving. You could just go plant your wheel with all that steering and just get up some gnarly inclines. So again, this is a portal axle setup, and the big deal with this rig is they say it drives like a straight axle kit. They got plenty of clearance, yet it still handles like a straight axle kit. When I drove the Founders Edition, that's definitely what I noticed. Strong aluminum steering links. They even give you the servo horn with this, long travel servo horn. Just a really well done rig. Again, take it out of the box, throw your gear in it, and hit the competition course. So again, they also give you the plague body with the kit. It's already pre-drilled and pre-cut, just have to paint it. They give you the window mask for that, and they also give you the rear panels. Now, I went and called a buddy, got one of these already painted. You need to check it out. This came out absolutely awesome. Bradley Fine Line Designs did it again. He's the guy that painted all those Founder Edition bodies that you probably saw all over the internet. And now he's come up with a scheme for the Black Edition. Absolutely killer. I'll have a link for his contact down in the video description below if you want this for your Black Edition. I'm also going to go and throw in some Reefs support gear, obviously. So I've got the Reefs scrub tires, their blade wheels, the brass inserts that I'm gonna throw in the front, and of course I gotta go with a Reefs servo, right? So I've got the raw 800 LP, and then if I have time, I'm gonna go throw in their comp spec winch. And I've got this Hobbywing set up, the Quick Run 3530 Outrunner motor, and then their 10BL80 speed controller. So I've got a little bit of building left to do, and then we're gonna go hit the rocks, guys. I'm really excited about this. How to show you guys the finished truck before we go and hit the rocks. So the Reefs 800 LP fits in there perfectly. Of course, the servo horn drops right on. Quick Run system looks pretty good in here, but that kind of screwed up my plans for the winch because the winch servo would have gone here, the 300, and I didn't want the winch line running across the Outrunner motor here, so I don't have the winch in it right now. Just threw a shorty 1300 milliamp battery pack in there, shortened up my wires so it's nice and neat. Got a Spectrum Racing receiver in there, and that's because I'm going to use my DX5 Pro. Tires look absolutely sick on these wheels. Love the brass in the front, just adds to the look. Now, one thing I forgot to mention before is like the winch servo setup. So yeah, my 300 didn't work here, but there's actually like 6 mounting spots for servos in this, winch servos. And I think I'm gonna go with the 100 up front here because there's some mounts for it. I just don't have the time to install this because it's supposed to rain pretty soon. So let's head out. It's pretty cold, RC drivers, probably about 20 degrees, made the trek up to the top of the mountain, and there's a little bit of rock to work with. We've been hit with some pretty big snowstorms, but we gotta see the Black Edition drive, so I'm just gonna go for it. All right, we're gonna get rolling here. A little bit of a drivetrain whine now that there's some load on it. It kind of sounds mean, doesn't it? There we go, we'll hit this one incline. Want to see it hit this spot. I mean, these are brand new tires. I haven't touched anything else yet. We did pretty good. Oh, plenty of clearance at the top. Down through the snow. Look at that suspension work. Oh man, just how I remember the Founders Edition. Look at all that steering angle. Just had to slow it down. Look at that, guys. Settled right in. Already loving it. How slow that Hobbywing system rolls. Tons of steering. Steering for days with this thing. Oh, look at that. Grab some traction. I know it's gonna do it. If it was warm weather, I think that would have went up no problem. Gotta tell you guys, driving one-handed with a DX5 Pro, not easy to do. Check out the descent here. Buttery smooth. All right, throttle out of it a little bit here. God, guys, that was awesome. All right, through the rocks here. This is definitely gonna twist up the suspension. Look at that, plenty of clearance out of that portal in the back. We get a portal clearance shot right over here. Straddle this rock, look at that. Yet it still handles like a straight axle rig. You know, they said that in their marketing, and you know what, it holds true. Even with this rig. Doesn't have all the brass weights on it, still super capable. Look at that, that was nothing. So I brought it over to the valley here, but actually I want to take this line up these rocks. Haven't had a single rig that I've been able to make it through that with. See if the XP10 can handle it. There we go. A little tire slip. We got some dirt on the tires now. Oh, look at that, guys. Let's find a little traction. Just gotta find some traction. There we go, nailed it. Look at that. So sick. I think it's time to christen those 199 axles. Give them a little bit of road rash. And this lead should do it. Show you guys the clearance in the meantime. Oh, it's clearing air. Oh, just hit the pumpkin a little bit. That's awesome. Back up the ridge. Suspension flexing for days. All right. Now this spot could be a lot of fun. So first we'll just walk through this on a diagonal. Nice. And right up into this transition here. And hopefully I could just swing it around the top of the rocks, catch that rear tire, and come back down. Look at all that steering. There we go. I'll catch that wheel in the rear, hopefully. Yeah, look at that. Sick, love doing that. Now this is a straight downhill here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Which way do I go? I think I got a throttle out of it here. There we go. Took me a second to figure that out. Ride this edge. Carry some tire. Oh, my first roll. Actually, I dropped it before, so this is my second roll. Another descent here. Off camber, it's dropped right in, settled in. Little skid hit. And I think we gotta go over here, guys. This will be fun to see the suspension work right through here. Reposition so I can give you guys a better view. Yeah, baby. The Black Edition looks so good on the rocks. I can't wait for summertime. Really challenge this thing. Maybe even hit up some events. What events should I hit up this year? I'm kind of like looking forward to maybe traveling somewhere. Let me know where I should go in the comment section below. What big events are you attending? Look at that, guys. Nothing stopping this truck. Nice steep incline for it right here. Check out that breakover. Oh, no problem. No problem. I don't think it hit the skid at all. It's gonna hit the skid here though. So let's see what it does. Bottomed out a bit. A little pop. Just a little bit of traction. All right, ready to pop it? There we go. That's all I needed. Yeah, this is my first time really putting this truck through its paces, so finding out how it works is all part of the fun. And it's making everything pretty easy. Nice save. All right, back up through here, through the snow. Winter releases are always tough. We've got the weather to contend with, and this year we've had a lot of snow. Luckily, I was able to get this rig outside on some rocks, and at least you could see some action, and it was a lot of fun to drive. I just kept thinking back to driving the Founders Edition at Proline by the Fire. That thing was glued to the rocks, and this thing is pretty capable as well. It doesn't have all the brass in it, and I definitely noticed that. I think it's something I definitely want to add to it, and I did find out that stuff is already available on the Reefs website. But other than that, I mean, super capable rig. You guys saw it. Even though the rocks were super cold, there was a lot of snow, this rig was hitting some lines that I just can't do with any other rig out there, and I'm really looking forward to driving it some more. Hopefully you got a good eye for it. If you didn't, I would definitely check out West Desert Wheeler's video. I heard that he has one. He's awesome, just driving on the rocks and giving you some technical info as he's wheeling it, and definitely a watch. I'll have a link for him in the video description below, but we got to go and talk about the price. No, I want to talk about a couple things that I wanted to see maybe in this kit. I know it's like a pro level kit, but you know, I would have liked to have seen motor screws in there, maybe some Velcro for the battery or another strap to hold down the battery. I think that's about it. Oh, and a recommendation for a pinion gear. Wound up throwing a 14 in there, and the guys over at Reef said that that was the way to go. But yeah, just little things. And yeah, now the price, $899.99. And I know there's a bunch of sticker shock on that one still. The Founders Edition people thought was expensive, and well, it wound up selling out. And that's because this is a dialed built rig right out of the box. Even though it doesn't have some of the Founders parts, it's still a worthy build. It's still got a ton of good stuff in there. And there's gonna be people saying, oh, I could build it less, I could build it cheaper. And this is for the people that want it all. Just take it out of the box, drop in your selection of electronics, and go out and have something very capable to comp with or enjoy hitting the rocks like I did. And you know, Reefs, these guys know what they're doing. They've got a killer team behind them, and you know this rig is gonna work. So if you just want that, pull it out of the box and have all the best stuff in one rig, you know, that price is probably worth it to a group of hobbyists out there.